Shalom, y'all, Bashim Yahshua Barakatah, y'all Shamar Atham Bashim Yahshua. This precinct officer 500 Matham Yah out of I.S.U.P.K, star out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command of General YAHANNA. We've been teaching the truth about the Bible, that the blacks, Hispanics, and the Native American Indians are the real Israelites of the Bible, God's chosen people, that are oppressors, the devil the Bible speaks of. And we could see today that, it's evident that our oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of, man, because we see in the news, we see every day on the news, we see in his actions, we see in his conduct on how, he behaves and how, he claims to be civilized in this place. But, we could tell by his actions and his deeds that he's the devil the Bible speaks of. Just recently, Charlie Kirk. I might be butchering his name. Let me confirm real quick. Yeah, Charlie Kirk. So yeah, just recently, Charlie Kirk just passed, right, when he perished from a gunshot wound. He got sniped from another devil. You know what I mean? So it was white on white crime. You understand? And this ain't the first time it happened. You understand? But we can go into that. But it's white on white crime. You know what I mean? And what's his name? Taylor, the killer name. The killer's name is Tyler Robinson. Okay, Tyler Robinson. You understand? So Charlie Kirk got unalived. He got sniped from, some devil named Tyler Robinson, by Tyler Robinson. You know what I'm saying? And what we should take from that is, what the general was bringing out yesterday in Black Watch, how, we bring out how, these Christians, the U.S. is a Christian nation, right? The United States of America is a Christian nation. You understand? Donald Trump is a Christian. Everybody in this cabinet are Christians. They claim to be Christians. They go by, what the Christian doctrine says for them to be. But if they are, then they should learn to forgive Tyler Robinson for what he did. Yes, he unalived Charlie Kirk. He unalived him. He sniped him. He got a bullseye shot in the neck. You understand, from Charlie Kirk, and at Charlie Kirk. And what the whole nation, what white people should do is, if y'all want to be better, if you want to, be considered, decent. You understand? Just follow just follow what you preach. Basically, follow what you preach. You understand? What you need to do is forgive Tyler Robinson for what he did. You understand? Forgive him. That's the Christian thing to do. The Christian thing for y'all to do is to forgive him, because he didn't mean it. He didn't mean it. You know what I'm saying? He probably had he had mental health issues. Charlie Kirk had, he had mental illnesses that he was dealing with. You understand? He wasn't all the way there. You know what I mean? You should forgive him. You understand? Send him to Burger King and get something to eat. You understand? And help him, get right with his, his mental issues. Because that's what y'all like telling us for the longest period of time. You've been telling black people, to get over it. You've been telling us, first, before I go there, Charlie Kirk also told black people, the poor brother, George Floyd, that he, passed away due to drug overdose. Now, you gotta be insane. You gotta be a different type of person to tell black people that's already destroyed, that's already, the poorest people, poor in spirit as well, that y'all are getting killed because drug overdose. It's not because it's not because my knees on your neck. No, you're not dying from me you know what I mean, getting rid of, killing off your, your airways and all that. It's not because of that. It's not because I'm shooting you in the streets. It's not because of police brutality. It's because drug overdose. You know what I'm saying? The white man is such a devil, the Bible speaks of, that he would, just constantly bash us spiritually, bash us mentally, you know what I mean, to mentally keep us as slaves, to mentally keep us lower than him in this place, man. When, Charlie Kirk, man, that happened, and that's terrible. But I say that the U.S., the American nation, the United States of America should forgive Tyler Robinson for what he's done. You know what I mean? He didn't mean it. He didn't mean it. You know what I mean? If you take a look at his pictures, like they like to do us, right? You take a look at his pictures. Maybe I should find a picture and put them up real quick. Boom, boom, boom. Select. Get a picture of him. Tyler Robinson. Get a picture of this devil real quick. You know what I'm saying? You take a look at him, man. He looked like your average devil, right? That means like what the I.S.U.P.K been telling you since 1969 is you can never trust your enemies. I'm gonna grab that scripture in a little bit. You know what I mean? But I want to grab a picture of this devil. Just get his picture they got from jail or whatever. Boom. Trying to pull it up. Okay. It's like it's taking a minute. But anyways, right? All right, I'm gonna zoom in on him real quick. This devil, right? You gotta forgive him. You know what I mean? You gotta forgive this devil right here. He does not, you know what I mean? He does not know what he's doing. You gotta give him a couple more chances. You know what I mean? He didn't mean what he did right there, man. I'm gonna share him on the screen. Bam. All right, bam. So
I
he
said
ain't even up here yet. So,
or something like that. You
there
just
you
hear
go.
the
Yeah, so
gunshot, and
this is devil right here. You gotta forgive.
like,
You gotta
just
understand,
see
man. He
his
has
neck
mental
just like
health
open up,
issues.
and there's
You gotta
just like
understand. He
so much
been through a
blood
lot in
that
life. He
just
was
came out.
beaten by his
It was
parents.
horrible,
He was beaten
and
by
all
his
I felt was
parents.
like
He had a hard
everybody
life
bringing me down
growing
to
up
the
as a
ground,
kid.
and
You
I was
understand? He had a
sorry.
difficult life coming up in America,
All I
man.
hear is
You
screaming, and I
understand?
see people running, and I'm like, it's not
He's a
safe
devil
to
you
run.
gotta
It's not safe
forget.
to get up.
And
It's
you
not.
look at him, man.
And
He
all I'm
doesn't
saying is, please
seem
God,
all the way.
please God, because
You
I don't
look
want
at
to die. I
him.
don't
You
want
gotta
anybody else
give.
to
You
die. And
gotta have mercy
I
on
think
this
I just
devil
saw a
right
guy
here.
die,
You gotta have
It was
mercy. White people,
horrifying.
you have
It
to
was
have some
horrible. I
type of
looked to see
mercy
if
and
there was a
empathy
shooter. I
on this
didn't see
devil
anything.
because
All I
you
could
look at
see
him. You
was
could tell he's been
Charlie
through a
was
lot.
taken right away.
You
There was
could
only
tell he's
maybe,
been
I
through
would
all
say,
types of hell
60,
and trauma
60
in his
people on
life
this
right here.
balcony that couldn't even
You
see
gotta
Charlie. They were
forgive
like
him.
on a balcony
You
above
gotta
like
forgive
his
him for what
tent
he's done.
that were all
You know what
saying,
I mean? Plus,
chanting F
you know what I
Charlie
mean? Your
Kirk, things like
pastor will
that, and
want
had
you to do
signs
that.
saying some
Your
pretty
Christian
upsetting things about him.
pastor will want
That
you
was
to
it. Everybody
forgive
else was drowning out the
Tyler
sound
Robinson
and
for what he's
saying
done.
how grateful
You
we
know what I
are
mean? You
that he
should
took
go
the
and
time to
offer
see
him,
us and talk to us.
go get some
We had
drinks with him.
questions.
Hell,
We wanted to talk to him.
me
And
and the brothers in the UPK, we was
instead,
saying, man,
somebody selfish
y'all should take
didn't
him
care.
to Burger
If I'm going
King.
to
Y'all
be
should take him
honest,
to
I had friends
Popeyes.
coming in asking if
We
they
could give him
needed
an
tickets,
8-piece real quick,
and
like
I said they
the
didn't
general
even
was
check for
saying
my
yesterday.
ticket, which I did
He
get
can
a
help.
ticket.
This
They did
devil
not
needs
pat us
help.
down.
He needs help. He needs to
I
go
feel
in a
like I maybe saw
rehab,
3 or 4
a
police
mental
officers in this
institution,
whole
you know what I mean?
environment of
And not
hundreds of people,
prison,
I would
not the
guess,
death sentence. Don't do
which I
that.
thought was a
No.
little odd.
He
But at the
needs
same time,
help.
I thought,
And he
well,
needs your
it's
sympathy,
Utah,
white
which is
people. He
probably an
needs your
ignorant
empathy,
thought to
white
think, but
people. He doesn't
there
need
was
you
not
to
much
come at
security
his neck for
precautions
that, man.
taken. There was none.
Because
So
he's
I
had a
was
rough
watching
life.
the event, and
This
I
devil
saw
had a
Charlie Kirk
rough
start
life.
talking and
The
stuff,
last thing
and
you
all
should
of a
do
sudden I
is
saw,
seek vengeance on him.
all of a sudden, and a
All he's
second later, I
done
heard a
was
gunshot, and
something he
everybody
did.
started like
Was
running in like a
he
mob
had no
through the
control of his
doors, and like
actions.
it was
You
scary.
understand?
I got
Have
trampled in the
mercy on him.
crowd, and like
Now,
just like
that's
pushed
what happened to
through
Charlie Kirk.
the
And Charlie
doors,
Kirk
just
also,
like
yeah, you
everyone
understand,
started
talking
running.
about how the knee on his
So,
neck on
how are
George
claims
Floyd's
paid
neck
with
was
car
in the
sheet?
way he
Your
perished.
car breaks, and we help pay to fix it.
Understand? He don't even
Simple.
understand his people.
Step one, let us help
flooded
find a
the
shop
ghetto
near you.
with drugs.
Slow down, Lewis and
You know what I
Clark. We
mean?
got you.
It was a few years
Step
ago.
two, the shop
It
calls
was
car sheet before they
seeing
fix
how
anything.
the ship. It
We
was a
confirm
ship
the
coming
repair
off the
and
coast.
pay the shop
I
direct.
want to say,
Boom. You just cover a small
I forget
deductible.
the story,
No
but
calling your mom crying because
I
your
want
car
to say
broke.
New York. I
Car
could
Shield
be
makes sure the
wrong,
mechanic gets
where
paid
this
for
ship had all
You
types
just get
of
your car
cocaine,
and your life back.
you know what I mean?
Need a
All
plan
types
that
of
doesn't
cocaine
ghost you at
in
the
the
repair
ship.
shop like
You know
a
what I
bad
mean? Boarding
dating app?
in the
Call
U.S.
now and let's go.
And where do you think that was going? They just got caught. You know what I mean? This is a normal thing, but they got caught this time,
On this
and
vote,
it was
the yeas are
it was
218,
filled
the
with
nays are
cocaine.
214.
And that's the same cocaine
The motion
that
is
they
adopted.
flood in our community. You know what I mean? These devils, they have crates. It was a story where Devil's Hope had crates of guns and drop them off in the ghetto, so brothers could just take it and run away with it and have them for their own to unalive themselves with. You know what I mean? That's what these devils do. But then they act like they blameless. They act like they don't have anything to do with it. They act like they innocent of the whole matter. You know what I mean? When really, you know what I mean, the right thing to do is for the finger to be pointed at them. The finger must be pointed at the right people, not our people. That's one thing we like to do is you know what I mean, point fingers at one another. You know what I mean? No, it's the Latino brothers' fault. No. It's us. They taking our jobs. No, they doing this. They doing all that nonsense, man. When Black and Latinos need to come together in this time. In this time right now, Black and Latinos don't got nothing to do with this. You know what I mean? That's their
Foreigners who
problem.
glorify violence
Only
and
thing we
hatred
could
are
do
not
is
welcome visitors
try
to our
to
country.
civilize these
Now,
devils and say,
we've stated that when it
That's
comes to
dumb.
how we vet people,
okay,
if they're
most on
going to be
Christ.
coming
Yeah.
here to be
Shalom,
helpful,
y'all,
to be
about Shimei
nice people, to be great
Shabakatah,
tourists,
to
or if
priest
they're
and
coming
officer,
for other reasons,
Kawak,
that every sovereign nation has a right to decide who's going to come to
I
this
might be
country.
messing it up.
So we've
Salak.
been public about that
And
standard. And
Rod,
this was a very
breed
public
love.
event that
Black folks out here
violated,
saying
as
have
we've
pity
seen
for
from
Esau. Yeah,
the
that's what I'm
Deputy
saying.
Secretary's tweet,
That's
that
what I'm
very
saying, man.
basic standard about the
Yeah, we
nature
can't have
of,
no. I mean,
who
why
we
have
want to let
pity?
into the country. That's all
What
right.
white people need to do
It
is
is
have
important the American
white people need to
support
have
us
pity on
taking care about
this
who
devil
comes
right
here.
here.
And I
They need to
think
have
his
pity on
tweet
him.
and the
Hell,
secretary's
you know what I mean?
language
Like I
and
said,
his
go give
approach
him
on the
something to
policy
eat.
speaks
He
for
needs to
itself.
go into the mental institution. You know what I mean? He didn't mean it. He ain't mean it at all, man. You gotta have some type of mercy on him. Now, with you know what I mean, they flood like I was saying, they flood our communities with these drugs, with these guns, and they claim that they're innocent. They claim that they don't have anything to do with it. They shouldn't be blamed. You know what I mean? On TikTok, all I get told all day on TikTok, on the videos I post up on TikTok, is they flood the comment up with black fatigue, black fatigue, black fatigue. You understand? Meaning that they tired of us complaining about what white people do to us in America, what white people do to us on this earth, on this planet. You know what I mean? When in actuality, I don't see why you. I guess you tired of it. You tired of it. You don't want to be. You don't want to be told that you're. You don't want to be charged for what you've done. You don't want to be told that you're the reason why. The earth is in turmoil right now. You don't want to be. You don't want to be told that you're the reason for all mass destruction on this earth. I understand, but the truth is the truth. You know what I mean? I tell them right back. White fatigue. White fatigue. You understand? Tired of you devils doing what y'all doing. You know what I mean? We're tired of y'all devils. Constantly, showing and proving yourself to be the devil by unaliving my brothers. You know what I mean? Putting your knees on my brother's necks. Um, Enforcing police brutality on my brothers. You know what I mean? That's what I'm tired of right there. That's what I'm tired of. And we're gonna keep speaking out against it. It's funny how people on TikTok, white people on TikTok tell us that we on this and that and whatever. It's rare that we get any of y'all saying any of that while we out on the streets prophesying. Though. You understand? When we on the streets prophesying, you know what I mean? They tend to walk by. You know what I mean? But That's neither here nor there. You know what I mean? What we have to understand is, man, black man, Hispanic man, we gonna have to really understand what this devil is and how he is and how he operates. You know what I mean? You come up in the I.S.U.P.K during YAHANNA, you gonna learn about this devil more than you gonna know these devils more than they know themselves. You understand? You gonna know these devils. You gonna learn and know these devils inside out more than I mean, they know themselves. You know what I mean? When you come up in here, you're gonna learn one thing or two about these devils, man. I'm gonna read a scripture what is this? Real fast. No. You get a scripture. I'm gonna go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy. So the scriptures say, never trust thine enemy. We should never trust our enemies, man. Black people, the Bible's saying we should never trust our enemies. Why shouldn't we trust our enemies? First off, the Most High said it. And plus, it's evident because, listen, that devil that unalived, that devil that unalived Charlie Kirk, he looks like the average white man. I'm gonna get another picture of him. You understand? He looks like your average devil. I'm gonna get another picture, a more polished picture of this devil, right? Get a more polished one. Let's get him right here. This should be good. Yeah. Get him right here. You understand? I'm gonna get him right here. I'm gonna share this image real quick. You know what I mean? Because listen, he looks like your average devil. He's the man that you clock in for in the morning. He's the man that you walking past him, smiling in his face, acting like he's your friend and whatnot. You smiling walking past him, you understand, and thinking he's your friend because he's smiling at you, because he's showing you all his fronts and his teeth, and he's smiling at you. But in all actuality, he's a bloodlusted murderer. He's a murderer, and you should never trust him. You know what I mean? You should never trust in your enemy. It says, Ecclesiastes 12 and 10, never trust in thine enemy. For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. You know what I mean? When you trusting in these devils, right? You're going to find out that ain't really no getting along with the devil. You ain't gonna never have peace with your enemies. You ain't never gonna have peace with these devils, because every chance they get, they gonna backstab. Every chance they get, they gonna show you their true colors. That's what the part where it says, as iron rusteth, you know what I mean? So is his wickedness. You know what I mean? When you take some iron and it's like it's clean, it's cleaned up, it's stainless and all that, and eventually it gets rusty and everything like that. That's the same with the spirit of these devils. They're gonna pretend to be a friend all day long. They could smile all in your face at the workplace. They can, pretend to be your friend at the workplace. Y'all could talk about sports or whatever at the workplace. Y'all could do whatever y'all do at the workplace, you know what I mean? But in actuality, and in reality, he hates you. He's a bloodlusted murderer. This is look at him. He's your average devil that you will walk past every day. You know what I'm saying? Never, and would never guess that he's like, he wouldn't, not us in the UPK, but people outside the UPK in the world would never guess he's who he's shown himself to be recently. You understand? And in the meantime, white people forgive him. Forgive him and put him in a mental hospital. Forgive him and give him something to eat. He's probably hungry. Forgive him. He's probably hungry. He needs something to eat. He probably needs. He haven't been hunting in a while. You got to forgive him for that, man. He has a need to hunt and to shoot something. You gotta put him somewhere where he can get checked out. He doesn't need imprisonment. No, he needs your forgiveness. He needs your sympathy and empathy. You need to be empathetic in this situation about Charlie Kirk. He passed. All right. Charlie Kirk passed away. Cool. He passed away, and that's sad. He's in hell right now, whatever. You know what I mean? All right. I'm sad to say. You understand? But this devil needs to be forgiven. He needs something to eat. He needs some milk. He needs, some, rehabilitation so he can get better. Tyler Robinson. That's what this devil needs. He doesn't need the hate from you devils. That's the last thing Tyler Robinson needs. Tyler Robinson needs your help. He needs your help that I know you devils can give him. You devils can give him the help he really needs and the help he really deserves. You know what I'm saying? But he doesn't. The last thing he needs is your vengeance. That's the last thing he needs. All right, I'm gonna read this again. It says, "Never trust in thine enemy. Never trust in thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness." You know what I mean? You can never trust in your enemies, man. I can't say it enough. You trust in your enemies, man, you're gonna get destroyed. You trust in your enemies, you're gonna be you're gonna be at the bottom. Because that's us today. That's black people today. That's Latino people today. You understand? We are at the bottom right now in society because we chose to trust in our enemies. You understand? We getting high, ain't we? We get black people and Latinos, we getting high, aren't we? We getting high every day, ain't we? That's us trusting in our enemies. We getting high, smoking weed, and this, that, and the other. We getting high, and that's trusting in your enemy. You know what I mean? You thinking you serve God and you love God, but when you smoke weed, you love, and that's you making that your God. You make that your God now, man. You know what I mean? The white man is the devil, the Bible speaks of, and he gave us drugs. He gave us guns. He gave us weed. He gave us pills and all that nonsense to pacify us and slowly cook us, to slowly kill us off. You know what I mean? With us helping him do so in the process. You understand? He wants us to help him in killing us off. And that's exactly what we're doing. That's exactly what we've been doing for 400 plus years. You know what I mean? Especially now. Now, what we're doing now, we in the worst time now than we were back in the times of slavery. You understand? We worse off now. And anybody that disagree, where we weren't killing each other in the rate we are doing now back in the times of slavery. We wasn't doing that. You understand? We wasn't like that. We don't right now. We love our oppressor. We love our slave master now on a higher level than we ever did in the past when we was enslaved under them. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? We love them now. We don't think they are enemies now. That's how jacked up we are now. We don't think that our oppressors are our enemies. We don't think that they are against us. We think that they just living their life, and we think they innocent. We don't think that we need justice for anything. We're all worse than now than we were back then. You know what I mean? What we have to do is learn how to be a separate people. Learn how to be separate from these devils, man. We don't have to be joined together with them. We don't have to be hand in hand with these devils, man. Can we do something on our own? Can we build something up like I know we can? We can be a better nation. We can be a special people, like the Most High called us in the Old Testament, man. We can be that people. You know what I mean? Because we are them people. We are them people that the Most High talks about in the book of Deuteronomy 7:6. You know what I mean? We're talking about how we are holy people. How we are holy people. And the word holy means to be separate or to be set apart. You know what I mean? Meaning we have to be separate from these nations. We can never be hand in hand, join hand in hand, you know what I mean, a rainbow coalition with all these other nations. You know what I mean? The heathen should be with the heathen. You know what I mean? We should be with us. And when we amongst each other, we should understand that we can never turn against our God. We can never turn against him. We can never sin against him, because when we do that, man, we basically asking to be overtaken. We asking to be, you know what I mean, taken over by somebody else, by some other heathen, so like by some other nation. We gotta learn to be separate and to be set apart, and to not be ashamed of our culture. You know what I mean? Black man, Hispanic man, you the real Israelites, you the real Jews of the Bible. You know what I mean? And it's time that you pick that identity up and understand, man, that's who you are. You ain't no byword. What we've been taught here is that we black, we African American, we Afro American, we Afro Caribbean, we Afro this, Afro that. Afro is a hairstyle. When I take these braids out and I pick it out and all that, you know what I mean? And the results will be an Afro, and that's a hairstyle. That would be my hairstyle if I took these braids out. That's not a nationality. You know what I'm saying? Afro is, the bush that you picking out, you know what I mean, for, brothers that, got hair like that, you know what I mean? Pick it out. That's a hairstyle. That's not a nationality. That's not that's not who you are. So it's insulting. It's truly insulting when you turn around and be like, man, you turn around and go, I'm African American, I'm Afro American, I'm Puerto Rican, Dominican, you know what I'm saying, whatever you claiming to be, when, and for real, when you really the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, you nobody else. These are the names that our oppressor gave us. These are the names that our slave master gave us, and we took upon for ourselves. You know what I mean? You got to understand the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. And when we understand that, we're going to understand, man, anything he try to present to us, we got to check it. We got to do research on it. We can't just trust anything he say, because he done lied about all the things he done lied about. Is like insane. Is insane. You understand? We're going to get some more. Let's see if I can grab another scripture. All right. I'm going to go to Matthew. We're going to go to, let's go here. 1 John 4:20. 1 John 4:20. I'm going to go there. You know what I mean? Talk about the lies that these devils then gave us. The biggest lie that these devils gave us, man, is that we are our enemies. We're our own enemies. That you need to. And how he lied to us and told us this, and not us just living how we living. He taught us this lifestyle because he forced it in our rap music. He forced it in our rap music to be this way, to be that way. You know what I mean? When you spin the block and you're gonna do this, that, you're gonna up this, you're gonna up that, you're gonna, you know what I'm saying, do all manner of wickedness and evil against your own brothers. You understand? That's the one of the biggest lies that he told us. And I'm gonna grab it right quick. 1 John chapter 4, verse 20. I'm gonna read real quick. Just bear with me a second. 1 John chapter 4, verse 20. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother. So if any man says, I'm gonna just stop sharing that real quick. Take it off the screen. If any man says, I love God, and he hates his brother, you know what I'm saying? Then the Bible says this about you. Let's get it. He is a liar. You know what I mean? He's a liar. You know what I mean? Because, you can never. It baffles me how, Christians today do this. Christians do this. Black Christians do this, where they scream they love God so much. They go to church talking about how they love God so much, how how God done so much for them, how Jesus done so much for them, how they can't do enough, talking about how God did so much for them. You know what I mean? And they go to church every Sunday doing this, and this is how they show that they love God. And they fill up the plate, the collection plate, and they do this every Sunday and do that every Sunday. But when they leave them church doors, they look down on black people. They look down on the poor black people that live right outside them church doors. They look down on them. They look at them as filth, as something disgusting. You know what I mean? Because they're poor. They look down on them because they not in the same bracket, not in the same level as them. That's how they look at them, and they feel like they just beneath them. They look down on the poor black people that live right outside them Christian doors, and that shows how really you don't love God, because you hate your brother, you hate your sister, you hate your sister, you hate your sister that's struggling outside, and she's dragging along some what they call that, some cart that she got to carry all across town because she don't got a car. She don't got means of transportation, so she got to go to some food giveaway and get whatever food she can get, cereal, you know, cereal, milk, you know what I mean, dried goods and all that, canned goods, and drag that along all the way to the other side of town and everything like that, because she's poor and she's suffering under this oppression, under these devils that we under today. But you look down on them because you truly hate God. And how I know you hate God, because like in the scripture it says, if a man say he loves God, if a man say I love God and hateth his brother, he is a liar. That's how I know you know what I mean, you're a liar. That's how I know you hate God, because you can't love God because you hate your brother. I'm gonna get some more. It says, for he that loveth not his brother whom he have seen. So how can you, let me just read on. I'm gonna read on. How can he love God whom he have not seen? You know what I mean? How you gonna love God who you never seen in a day in your life? If you see the Most High with your own eyes, you'll drop dead. That's in the Bible. You know what I mean? If you see the Most High with your own two eyes, you're gonna drop dead. You cannot look at the Most High. You can't see him. You know what I mean, with the naked eyeball. You can't do that and live at the same time. You understand? How you gonna say you love God, but you hate your brother? You understand? And you hate your brother who you see every day. Might I add, you see a brother every day. You see your brother every day, but you hate him and you claim to love God. The Bible calls you a liar for that. And that's the biggest lie. That's one of the biggest lies that the oppressor taught us, man. And who's falling for that lie the most, like I've been going over, the Christian church. They falling for that lie right there because that's all they know how to do. They don't know how to have sympathy and empathy for black people, for poor black people. They don't know how to do that. They don't even want to touch them. They don't even want to have physical touch for a poor brother in the street. They don't even want to touch them. They fear that they're gonna catch a plague or something. They fear that they're gonna get sick. You know what I mean? From having contact with one of their brothers that's dying and suffering from starvation in the streets. You understand? Like, that's how they feel about it. You know what I mean? Let's get some more of these lies. What other lies they got? They got more lies talking about who Christians believe as who they believe Christ is coming to come back for them. You know what I mean? Christ is going to come back and die for all their sins. They believe in the John 3:16 verse, the false meaning of John 3:16. They believe that, you know what I mean, which the devil lied about as well. You know what I mean? They believe that. They believe Christ came to die for everybody. That's a lie. We're gonna prove it how John 3:16 is a lie, right? Well, it's like not John 3:16, but the false meaning, the popular notion of John 3:16. You know what I mean? The popular mainstream reason meaning behind John 3:16 amongst Christians today is a lie, and we're gonna prove it right now. Let's get John 3:16. I'm gonna get John 3:16. It must be raining outside. All right, John 3:16. Well, first off, I would like, you know what I mean, for Christians to answer me this, which probably not. But if a Christian wants to answer me, they could. Who is Christ speaking about in John 3:16? Who is he talking on? More so, who is he talking to in John 3:16? You know what I'm saying? We gotta understand, who is Christ talking to in John 3:16? Is he talking to everybody? Is he talking to certain people? Who might Christ be talking about in John 3:16? Well, I'll tell you what Christians like to say. John 3:16, Christ, according to Christians, in John 3:16 is talking to everybody. Everybody that walks the planet Earth today. That's what Christians like to think. All right, so John 3:16 is not talking about that. John 3:16 is something totally different. The verse John 3:16 is not incorrect, but what the Christian church teaches about John 3:16 is incorrect. It's false, and we're gonna break it down. All right, so let's get John 3:16. First off, we want to get some more context on this whole thing. If you go up in the chapter, Christ is speaking. This whole conversation is between two black men. All right, Christ and the brother named Nicodemus. All right, brother, it's a brother named Nicodemus. He's of the Pharisees. He's of the Pharisees, right? And he came to Christ at night. He came to Christ by night. By night, why did he come to Christ by night? Is because he wanted to be in secret. Why was he trying to come to him in secret? Because Nicodemus knew that Christ was speaking the real. He knew Christ was the real deal. He knew Christ was, you know, what I mean, real, you know, the actual man that God sent. You know what I mean? He knew that. So he came to him by night and didn't want to be noticed. That's another reason why he came to him by night. He didn't want to get noticed. He came to him, you know, at night so he can, you know, be low. He trying to be low and all that, right? So he came to him by night, and this is a conversation between two black men again. You know what I mean? And he doesn't, Christ trying to break things down on him. He ain't understanding what it is. And then we come here to John 3:16. Let's get to the meat. Let's get to what we trying to break down. All right, I'm going to read it. It's like, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. So when you read that, what it means? He says, for God so loved the world. So God loved the world. All right. So what world is he talking about? Is he talking about, because it's many worlds out here if you don't know already. There's many worlds. You understand? The word world does not mean earth, the planet Earth. It doesn't mean that. The word world means age or society. It means age or society. So when you looking at this scripture, you gotta look at it like that. Like it's talking about, for God so loved the world, is talking about the societies, the society. God in this verse is Christ is saying that the Most High loves a specific society in this verse right here. We're gonna find out which society the Most High loves. We're gonna break it all down. All right, we're gonna get it. It's I'm gonna read on. That he gave his only begotten son. That he gave his only begotten son. All right, everybody understand that? Christ. That whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. You understand? So let's talk about who this is talking about. It says, for God so loved the world. Let's find out what society is talking about. Let's figure this out. Man, let's first dispel notions that they think, that this is talking about everybody. Let's break that down real quick. I'm going to go to Psalms 90 and Psalms 90 and 2. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 90, verse 2. Before the mountains were brought forth, or ever thou hast formed the earth and the world. So I'm going to read again from the top, just in case people didn't catch it. Before the mountains were brought forth, or ever thou hast formed the earth and the world. So Christians, explain to me how there's an earth and a world when the world is supposed to mean earth. But right here it's saying earth and world. Obviously, it's something to what we're saying. You know what I mean? The word world and earth is two totally different things. World, again, is an age or society. All right. And the Most High loves a certain society. We're going to find out which society he loves, what it's talking about in the book of John, chapter 3, verse 16. We're going to go to another scripture, right? Hebrews 11 and 3. And we're going to peep what it says in here. We're going to find out something in here. And we're going to read it right now. It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 3. It reads, through faith, we understand that the worlds, and the Christians out there that's talking about, it says worlds with the S at the end, plural. It says, through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God. You understand? It says the worlds. Christian got to help me out now. Like, so is there multiple earths? Is it multiple earths, or is it what we said it was? Like, just logic. If you look these things up, look these words up, you understand it's multiple societies, multiple worlds. You understand if it's a sea world where the fish live in. You understand this? The fish live in the sea world. You know what I mean? It could be a brother living in a mind of his own, in a world of his own, in a world of his own. You understand? It could be, different worlds. It's third world countries. You know what I mean? There's many different worlds. What world are we speaking about in this verse? We're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. We're going to get it. You know what I mean? We're going to get some more. You know what I mean? Drop that. We're going to go to another one. We're going to go to 1 John chapter 2, verse 15. 1 John chapter 2, verse 15. Reads right here, it says, love not the world. So Christians break that down to me too. Why is John right here in this letter right here? Why is John saying love not the world? Explain to me that, Christians. I would like to know. Christians, I would like to know. Why does John say, love not the world, when John 3:16 says, for God so loved the world? What are we doing? What is it talking about? I'm gonna read some more. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. You know what I mean? So we have to understand this, man. What is the world? What world is it talking about right here? Because like I said before, there's a sea world. There's third world countries. Brothers could be in their own world in their head. You know what I mean? Is many different worlds. All right. What world is it talking about right here when it says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world? It's speaking about the world you live in today. The world we live in today is a world where homosexuality is running rampant. You understand? Running rampant. And it's deemed as just a alternative lifestyle. You know what I mean? When the Most High said it's abomination, the Most High said it's an abomination. It's not something we should just take up like it's what can I say, recreational. You understand? We can't do that. This world is filled with, you know what I mean, child abuse, all types of abuse, you know what I mean? Racism, prejudice, you know what I mean? Police brutality, murder, genocide. Speaking about the, you know, them small hats over there overseas on genociding basically the Palestinians. Are my brothers, the Native American Indians, being genocided by these by the white man, by the devil the Bible speaks of. You know what I mean? Transatlantic slave trade, where blacks and Latinos were enslaved under these white people, man. Under white people. That's what this world consists of. This world consists of black men getting locked up by the millions. Black and Latino men getting locked up by the millions in prison. In prison, and nobody gives a damn. Nobody blinking an eye at it. Nobody want to talk about it. Nobody want to speak up about it. Nobody want to talk about why we in this predicament. That's what this world consists of. This world consists of, this is a world where we can get killed, cold blood in the street, and they gonna get off. That cop that murdered us is gonna get off. He's gonna be safe. He's gonna be fine. He's gonna be able to sleep fine at night. He's gonna be able to go back to his family. He's gonna be able to kiss his babies. He's gonna be able to be cool and not have to worry about nothing. He's gonna sleep like a baby at night. Because this world protects murderers. This world protects thieves. You know what I mean? This world protects the unrighteous, the wicked. You know what I mean? That's what this world consists of, and that's the world we live in. You know what I mean? We some brothers in there living in a world of a drug addict, and living in a world where they gotta wake up and weed is their whole world. Smoking weed is their whole world. They getting their next high is their whole world. You know what I mean? We gotta understand, man. There's different worlds. There's different worlds. All right. Different ages, different societies, different, what I mean, situations like that. So when it's talking about that, it's not speaking about the earth. Let me get you another precept. Furthermore, prove my point on this whole thing. All right. Isaiah 45:17. Isaiah 45:17. We're going to read real quick. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. That's what the Most High said. Let me read some more. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. This is the world that is speaking about in John 3:16, where it says, "For God so loved the world." What world is it talking about? I'll read it again. "But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end." Brothers and sisters out there, man, the world of blacks and Latinos, you know what I'm saying, and Native American Indians is the world that the Most High cares about. Is the world that the Most High loves, that He gave His only begotten Son to die for. You know what I mean? This is the world that the Most High loves and cares about, and that tends to, you know what I'm saying, and watches over. You understand? The Most High loves the nation of Israel. He does not love everybody, and John 3:16 is not speaking about everybody. We should know that by now, that the word world is talking about us, our world. Black and Latinos, our world. The nation of Israel, our world. You understand? Get this last precept on it. Last precept. 2:22. 2:21. I'm going to grab Acts chapter 2, verse 21. "And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call," now we know who the whosoever is talking about. Let me go back to John 3:16. Let me go back there. I don't think I have to, but if you go there, right? Let me see. John 3:16 reads this: "For God so loved the world of the Israelites, we already know that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in Him should not perish, but have everlasting life." Now, when it says that whosoever, that is important to understand who the whosoever is, because Christians in their mind think is they think it's everybody that walks the planet right now, meaning that your slave master can be saved. Your slave master can be saved. He can put you in oppression. He can have you struggle to pay your bills. He can evict you out your home. He can do all manner of evil to you, right? But he still can get saved. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be righteous for the Most High would be unrighteous if He would allow your oppressor, your slave masters, to be saved. You understand? When we all know the Most High is all righteous, you know what I'm saying? He's, as righteous as it can get. You know what I mean? There's no unrighteousness with the Most High. You know what I mean? So when He says these things right here, this can't be evil. You know what I mean? It's not evil. It's just what the Most High want right here. This is what it is. This is the deal. It says that whosoever believeth in Him should not perish but have everlasting life. Let's find out who that whosoever is. Let me go back to Acts 2 and 21. It reads, "And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved." I'll read it one more time. "And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved." Let's go up another verse. Let's go to the next verse, rather. Verse 22. "Ye men of Israel, hear these words." It's talking to the nation of Israel. You know what I mean? That's what it's speaking about. It's speaking about black people, Latino people, Native American Indian people. It's speaking about the niggas. It's speaking about the so-called spics. It's speaking about the so-called redskins. You understand? It's speaking about us, the ones that are so hated on this earth today. You understand? We are the society that the Most High loves. We the society that the Most High cares about. You understand? It says, "Ye men of Israel, hear these words. Jesus of Nazareth, a man approved of God among you by miracles and wonders, signs and which God did by Him in the midst of you, as ye yourselves also know." Amen. It says, "Ye men of Israel, hear these words." speaking about Black people, Hispanic people, Native American Indian. So that's important to know as Black people, as Hispanic people, Native American Indian people, because your pastor will never show you this. Your pastor is never going to show you how you God's chosen people, how the Most High only chose you to be his special people, how he sent Christ to die for only you. You know what I mean? So you can get another chance to change your life and come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. The Most High did it for us, not for everybody, not for Charlie Kirk. He didn't do it for Charlie Kirk. He didn't do it for Tyler Robinson. He didn't do it for them. He didn't do it for them. He didn't do it for Donald Trump. The Most High didn't send Christ to die for Donald Trump. He didn't do that. He did not do that. He died for that brother, that poor brother that you look past that you walk past every day, that you see every day outside your window, sleeping on the sidewalk. He did it for you. Christ died for that brother, you know what I mean, that sleeps on the train, on the subway all day long, riding back and forth on the train, back and forth on the L all day long. For that poor sister that rides, catch the train all day long because she got nowhere to go. That for that poor brother that sleeps in the damn subway station, that sleeps in the subway station with rats and everything infested down there, you know what I mean, making it uncomfortable for our people. You know what I mean? For that same brother that's starving to death, for that same sister, the poor couple, that poor older couple that is doing the best they can to make ends meet, but they can't do it because they oppressed in this hellhole called America. He died for them. He died for them. Christ, a Black man from the tribe of Judah, you understand? He died for us. He died for the meek. You understand? He didn't die for your supervisor, for your white supervisor at work. He didn't die for them. He died for us. All right, so we gotta understand that, man. John 3:16 is talking about the world of niggas. It's the world of Spicks and Redskins. It's the world of Black people that he died for, that he sent, that the Most High loves. The Most High loves this world, the world that we have, that we could potentially have and are going to have in the kingdom of heaven when Christ returns. All right, where there ain't gonna be no more murders. Ain't gonna be no more child abuse. Ain't gonna be no more domestic abuse. Domestic violence. Ain't gonna be no more of that. Ain't gonna be no more, stealing. Ain't gonna be no more murdering. You understand? There ain't gonna be no more of that. You know what I mean? Just us living in our heaven. And these heathens, giving everything they have to us. You know what I mean? And that's righteous. With that, man, I'm gonna end the class with that. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, whoever's tuning in or whoever's catching this on a playback. You know what I mean? Catching this after the fact, when we leave off this live. Appreciate y'all too. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna end it right there. And as always, I'm precinct officer 500 Mathomia out of I.S.U.P.K. Start of 1 West 125th Street Hall, New York, under Commander General YAHANNA. We've been teaching the truth about the Bible since 1969. The truth being that what? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the Lord's chosen people, are the Lord's children, the lost sheep of the house of Israel. 12 lost sheep, 12 lost tribes of the house of Israel. All right, and that our oppressors is the devil the Bible speaks of. All right, so with that, man, I'm in the class with that. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all check me out every Tuesday here. You want library? Like I say always, y'all want to come through, hit us up. Hit us up in the comment section. Hit us up DMs if you wanted to see about coming through here in person. All right, so with that, man, I say shalom.